Hello and welcome to this special edition of the 938 podcast. I'm Brian Garrison, one of the Associate Mission Directors here in the BBFI Mission Office. Glad to have you with me today. And as we get started, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the podcast. Also share it on your social media platforms. We'd greatly appreciate that. Back in February, during the virtual fellowship meeting, we introduced a new financial service for the Churches of the Baptist Bible Fellowship International. And today I'd like to just expound on it a little bit and give you some more information about that, and also give you a little teaser on what that might look like. Let me review some of the statistics that I gave back in that meeting. A recent survey revealed some very surprising facts about financial planning. Only 33% of Americans have a will in place, but 60% of those surveyed said it was a very important thing to do. When asked why not, why don't you have a will in place, many are saying that they just don't know how to get one. And a mere 1 out of 3 participants in the survey have done any type of estate planning. Now, another study showed that most people who make charitable contributions to nonprofit organizations do so because they believe in the cause of the nonprofit organization, and they also believe that they are making a significant impact. And I asked the question back in February, what greater cause is there than winning the nations to Christ? One last interesting note that we shared, we're in the middle of what many call the Great Wealth Transfer. You see, over the next few decades, somewhere between $40 and $140 trillion will change hands from one generation to the next. Now, we've been promoting Project 938 for almost a couple of years now, really, and the main focus of Project 938 is simply finishing the task. We base 938 off of Matthew chapter 9 and verse 38, where Jesus gives us the prayer request that the Lord of the harvest would send more laborers into his harvest fields, the fields that are white, ripe unto harvest, and literally that we would finish the task that he set before us. And win the nations to Christ. To do that, in order to finish this task, I think it will take 2 things. First, an answer to that prayer request. First, it will take more laborers. It will take more missionaries going to the unreached parts of the world to finish the task of reaching the nations for Christ. But I also think that it will take financial resources. See, we need to be thinking creatively on how to fund the mission. And how to get missionaries to the field even quicker and help sustain them financially and keep them on the field. And in essence, that is one of the main focuses of this new service that we're offering to the churches of the fellowship, the focus on the financial resources. See, I believe that there are currently and probably will be, with this great wealth transfer, countless individuals and families in our churches of the fellowship with tremendous assets who would love to make a sizable contribution to see the task finished in their lifetime, to reach the nations for Christ and expand the kingdom of God in their lifetime. But I think the biggest problem is they just don't know how to do it. They don't know where to begin. And that's where we would like to step in and help. You see, we at the Mission Office, we would like to provide a service for you, and I would love to have the opportunity to come and host an informational event. And caveat here, this is not a sales event, it's not a promotion necessarily for the BBFI Mission Office. We want to be a blessing, and we want to encourage your people by giving them the information around charitable estate planning, so that they would be well informed on how to go about planning those types of gifts. So in the next few minutes, I would just like to give you an idea of what that might look like, kind of a teaser for the seminar. And what that would look like is a short presentation, probably in 20 to 30 minutes in length, and informing your church members. And the target audience, honestly, would be seniors. and just sit down with them, maybe over a lunch, maybe over coffee, and just share with them some vital informational aspects about charitable estate planning. And really, when you break it down, there are three types of gifts that one can give in the area of charitable estate planning. The first of those gifts are simple gifts. We call them the simple gifts. And these are gifts that anyone can make, and honestly, at any time. The first of those are what we call bequests. And I know that's a kind of a big word, but it just simply means leaving something to someone. And a bequest can be a gift from a will or a trust, and it's simply someone saying, I want this organization or I want this person to have this particular asset when I go to heaven. And it can be as simple as a financial asset, or it could be personal property, some tangible asset. Another way that you could give a simple gift is through life insurance. Did you know that you can include your church or a nonprofit organization as a beneficiary in a life insurance policy? Actually, many church members, if you will, include that as a form of tithing. They include a tithe after they're gone, after they go to heaven, in the form of a beneficiary through one of their life insurance policies. Also, you could just outright give real estate or personal property as a form of a charitable gift. Those are a few gifts that we call simple gifts, and honestly, there are about 12 to 15 types of simple gifts, and we will spend time on those particular gifts in this seminar that we host. Another type of gift that you can give as a form of a charitable gift are lifetime income gifts. And these are gifts that actually pay income. One example is what we would call a charitable gift annuity. And this is an annuity set up by a particular nonprofit organization that actually pays the donor income in their lifetime, and then what remains after they depart goes back to the nonprofit organization in the form of a gift. Also, there are certain types of trust annuities that we will spend some time on as well in this seminar. You probably never heard of a CRUT or a CRAT. Well, we will tell you what those are in this seminar. A charitable remainder annuity trust is one of those forms of lifetime gifts as well. Another type of gift is what we would call a protected gift. Protected gifts usually come in the form of a trust. Now, there's an old saying in the financial services world with financial planners that you should always trust the trust. And what that means is if there are certain assets that you want to make sure that someone receives after you are gone, then you need to put those assets inside of what we would call a trust. A trust is a legal document, and it's a personal financial plan where you transfer your assets or property to a new legal entity so that they can be managed for your benefit or for the benefit of your loved ones, or even a nonprofit organization that you include in the trust after you're gone. They're legal documents, they're subject to state laws and federal as well. All types of trusts assure that your financial and familial estate matters remain private. And one of the biggest benefits of a trust, unlike a will, is that it allows you to avoid probate court. The trust does not pass through probate, and it is immediately put into effect upon your passing. So I always told, when I was a financial advisor, I always told someone, if there's someone that you want to make sure that you leave a particular asset to in a certain way, and you want to make sure that without a doubt they receive it in a certain way and in a certain time, you always need to make sure that you establish a trust. So these are just a few of the types of gifts that we will look over and study and examine in this seminar. Love to come visit you. I'd love to come and just share these this valuable information with your church members, and also encourage them in different types of ways that they can get involved in reaching the nations for Christ. And through these valuable financial resources, they can also give back during their lifetime and also after the Lord calls them home. So if you'd like to set up a time for me to come and schedule an event, just you see the email on the screen there. My email address is bgarrison@bbfimissions.com, or you can call the office, ask for me by name, and I'd be glad to set up a time to come and visit your church, your people, and encourage them in the area of charitable estate planning. Thanks again for tuning in today. I know this was a shorter podcast, but I hope it's valuable, and I'd love to see you soon. Thanks again. God bless you as we look toward Project 938 Sunday coming up in October. Tune into the podcast, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you so much.